Hey everyone! So welcome to the first video of my favorite book, My Life at Rose Red. I've been wanting to start this series for a while called The Naked Librarian, where I read to you more not kids themed books. And this was the first one because, like I said, it's one of my favorite books ever. So it's called My Life at Rose Red, The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer, I think is how you say her name. Okay. Dr. Joyce Reardon writes, Dear reader, in the summer of 1998, at an estate sale in Everett, Washington, I purchased a locked diary covered in dust, writings I believe to be those of Ellen Rimbauer. Beaumont University's Public Archive Department examined the paper, the ink, and the binding, and determined the diary to be authentic. It was then photocopied at my request. Ellen Rimbauer's diary became the subject of my master's thesis and has haunted me ever since. Excuse the pun. John and Ellen Rimbauer were among the elite of Seattle's turn-of-the-century high society. They built an enormous private residence at the top of Spring Street that became known as Rose Red, a structure that has been the source of much controversy. In a 41-year period, at least 26 individuals either lost their lives or disappeared within its walls. Ellen Rimbauer's diary, excerpts of which I offer here, set me on a personal course of discovery that has led to the launching of an expedition. Shortly, I will lead a team of experts in psychic phenomena through the doors of Rose Red and the Rimbauer estate in an effort to awaken this sleeping giant of psychic power and to solve some of the mysteries my mentor, Max Bernstein, was unable to solve before he went missing in Rose Red in 1970. I never met Dr. Bernstein, but I considered his writings the most progressive in the field of psychic phenomena. Many thanks to my publishers, Beaumont University Press. I hope the publication will widen the public's perception and acceptance of psychic phenomena and firmly anchor a fascinating historical period in the growth and expansion of the Pacific Northwest. I have taken great pains to edit this document to a readable size, deleting the repetitive sections and omitting those I found offensive. For the extremely curious or the voyeuristic minded among you, a portion of those edits can be found archived on the World Wide Web at beaumontuniversity.net. Photos of the house can be viewed on the website as well. Good reading. In the name of science, I will pursue the truth of Rose Red, wherever it may lead me. Sincerely, Joyce Reardon. The following are excerpts taken from Ellen Rimbauer's diary dated 1907 to 1928. Any and all editing has been done at my discretion. Some effort has been made to protect the integrity of Mrs. Rimbauer and her descendants, although never at the cost of content. What follows are the words of Ellen Rimbauer in her own hand, as with few editorial comments as possible. Joyce Reardon, November 2000. April 17th, 1907, Seattle. Dear Diary, I find it somewhat daunting task to endeavor to place my thoughts here inside your trusted pages. I scarcely know if I am up to the task, but as my head is filled with lurid thoughts and my heart with romance and possibility, I find I must confide in someone, and so it is to your pages I now turn. I have lived these 19 years in full premonition of that time when a man would come into my heart, into my life, and thrill me with love, passion, and romance. That time has now come. I swoon just thinking of John Rimbauer, and some of my thoughts are not at all becoming of the lady I am expected to be. My physical desire does at times possess me. I am influenced by my reading of popular novels, as my mother is wont to say, or am I sinful, as my father has implied? No, not with words, but by branding me with his raised eyebrows and scolding brow. I must admit here, too, to the simultaneous impression that danger lurks within an arm's reach. Death, dread, destruction, born of guilt, I wonder, for the unladylike fantasies to which I succumb when alone in the dark, or is the source of these images some force entirely exterior of myself, as I am prone to believe? Does another world exist? For it seems to me it must, a force apart from human experience, a power all of its own, and not one familiar with the God to whom I pray. Something darker, external, otherworldly, something altogether unknown. It lurks in the shadows. I feel its presence. I would be lying here if I did not admit to a certain thrill in this looming sense of the future, of the unknown, affords me both the unknown of what John Rimbauer's touch might bring to my life, as well as this sense of larger, darker force at play. John Rimbauer is a partner in a large oil company, Omicron Oil, along with Mr. Douglas Posey, an affable, quiet gentleman whose company I've had the good fortune to keep, along with that of his wife, Phyllis. Oil, I'm told, holds great promise as a fuel for lighting homes, and perhaps someday even heating them. John says that oil water heaters for the home are all the rage in the East. Kerosene is being used in motor cars. I hope someday to perhaps take the train with John back to Detroit, where he does business with the Rockefellers. Oh, but my head spins with such fancy. Dinner with John D. himself, a banker's daughter from Seattle, Washington, and yet I sense the world is about to unfold at my fingertips. John is the key to that world. I feel certain we are to be engaged within the month. Dare I say with such honesty? Only here in your pages, dear diary. John has ordered the construction of a grand house, grander than any house in all the state, perhaps in all the land. He tells me of it often, as if it is to play a significant role in my life as well, which I now feel nearly certain it will. I am blushing as I write this. He has offered me a motor car ride to the construction site, and I have accepted. Within the week, we shall ride together to what may prove to be the site of our future happiness together. One hopes for happiness. This dread I feel, will it too play a role? I can only hope and pray that this sense of impending doom will be overcome by the light and love my future husband and I shall share.